Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. This is Kyle Madsen with your top stories on Sports 1140. Sacramento Kings lost to the Nets yesterday, 123-94 in Brooklyn. The Kings were down 8 going into the fourth. The Nets outscored them 30-9 in the final 12 minutes to cruise to a win there. But there's no time for the Kings to dwell on that loss. They're right back at it again tonight in Toronto. Our coverage on Sports 1140 begins with game night at 2:30. Kings Live is at 3:30, and tip-off is set for 4 o'clock. And multiple outlets are reporting that the Rockets have agreed to trade Carmelo Anthony to the Chicago Bulls. A deal is expected to be finalized later today. It is 8:01. Time to get your tickets for the 7th annual Sacramento Sports Hall of Fame induction celebration, Saturday, January 26th at Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Get to sacsportshof.com. Those are your top stories. Now back to the drive on Sports 1140 KHTK.
Well, Cody Baylor picked the oddest day to dress like an NFL official.
Whatever.
Well,
Or as Kyle said.
Or
Beetlejuice.
as Kyle, yeah.
Kyle, when I walked in, I was like, Scott just said I look like Beetlejuice. I was going for the ref
See? Nailed it.
You were really going for the ref vibe
I
after
wasn't
we can
intentionally, but
could
here
we do
are.
okay.
And everyone can see too.
So, yes, go to khdk.com and check out Cody's fantastic outfit. So, can I make a proposition for all 4 of us? Could we go to Foot Locker immediately following today's program, please?
I hate you all.
Seems fitting.
Can we
We're
go
all
to
fighting.
Get some shoes.
If Cody just stood there, like just hung out in the store, how many people would approach her
That's what I mean.
in a 6-hour shift
No,
and
right? Get
ask,
some discount on shoes.
Do you have
Yeah,
these
just-
in a 12?
like,
Could
yeah,
we
I
go-
work here. Do you have the home and away LeBron equality shoes?
I need the right white shoe, please. Just one. I'm gonna go into Foot Locker and say, hey, could you just give me one of the white shoes for my right foot and one of the white shoes for my left foot without me paying $400.36 for the 2 of them?
Did you
Yeah.
buy them?
He knows somebody. He knows a guy.
Unconfirmed reports.
Bamey and Darling definitely bought them.
Because it was his Monday. What? I don't know.
How do you know I just didn't get them from Cody? She obviously works at Foot Locker. How do you know that all of this
don't.
time
Yeah.
my Nike hookup is actually Cody Baylor?
Just hanging out at Foot Locker all day.
Oh,
Cody,
you know what would be
Cody,
great?
this is way too many stripes. It's just a shirt with the. You can just wear black pants.
Okay, I'm gonna do this.
After
Oh,
we
it's
leave
backwards Foot Locker.
After we leave Foot Locker, can we walk into Champs to see if it pisses them off?
Yes.
Walk into just Champ Sportings, be like, hey, Champ Sports, be like, hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, you
And
guys
then
going on here?
when we walk into Champs, we'll see Christopher Lott in there just hanging out
Oh.
because he owns the place.
That's
Well
it's
done.
actually named after. As you see here, if you're checking out the stream to see Cody's fantastic tribute to the officials this past weekend in the NFL. Or to Michael Keaton. One or the other. Oh, gosh, I love you for wearing that today. That was just, it wouldn't have been nearly as funny if you wore that on Thursday.
No.
It's
I had to.
It's
Yeah.
way,
Welcome.
way better.
You're all welcome.
Thank you.
Check us out live on khtk.com. If you're listening on the KHTK app, thank you for that. If you're listening anywhere, Jason, Kyle, Cody, myself, we all very much thank you. Dave will be with us on Monday, back at his normal time slot. We'll be back at our normal time slot. For those asking about Dave's tweet last night, I guess the smiley face is his gimmick for good news. It's not something that I'm familiar with. It has nothing to do with the Kings. The story that he's smiling about hasn't broke yet. I told him I wouldn't say anything until it broke, but it has nothing to do with the Kings. Kyle Madsen's speculation that Carmelo Anthony is coming to the Sacramento Kings, I believe, as you said earlier. I think you said something
I
like
definitely
that.
I speculated it for sure.
Or
That's
I
what it
think
was.
I think you out and out stated it when you
Yeah.
said Carmelo Anthony and Buddy Hield.
The Buddy Hield system.
That's
yeah,
not
right.
what
That's
the
a
tweet-
frowny face.
That would have been that. Dave would have just rage tweeted if he.
That
if
would have
he
been several
found
middle
out that
finger
was it.
emojis.
Yep,
Yeah.
definitely not a smiley.
You
for
know
sure.
what new emoji I like is the red face with the explicit tape over the mouth.
I've noticed that.
That's a good one.
Yeah, you've used that multiple times on the internet.
I've used that
Fantastic.
multiple times when I text you.
Oh, is that where I've seen it?
Yes.
Sorry.
That's where you-
On the internet.
it's in almost every single tweet that goes to you, or every single text that goes to you.
Perfect. Like, hey, Damien, good morning. Just that emoji. By the
Yeah.
time. Cool. Good start.
If you think my interaction with Kyle on the show was rough, wait do you see our personal text messages?
Nope.
You have never delivered me good news through a text message before.
That's probably a fine point.
You have never delivered me good news through a text message at all. And there's no good news regarding your Sacramento Kings either, as they lose last night 123-94. I keep saying last night. They lost in the middle of the day, 123-94. You talked about resting, J. Ross. I think it would be a good day for Nemanja, your boy, Bielitsa. Maybe just take the night off.
His night?
The whole day. Just take it all. Just don't go to Canada.
Didn't he yesterday?
Oh, unofficially.
Yeah.
Unofficially. His 4 minutes and 46 seconds to start the game was all we saw from him. But let's give me Fox, Buddy. Give me Willie, Bogey. And if you want to sit Shump after his 1 of 10, let's go ahead and put Bogey in there. Bogey and Bagley there in the starting lineup. We'll take Shump and Bielitsa out.
Okay, for tonight against Toronto. Okay.
It's not going to last.
Yeah.
Because they're not – I mean, a short lineup, you're not going to survive. Like, if it goes as you speculated or guys may rest tonight, we're going to get a heavy dose of Costa Koufos and Ben McLemore.
Okay.
I mean, don't say it like don't put that tone on me. Like I'm not suggesting that's what they do.
I've told you I'm not a fan of rest at all.
I'm putting the pieces together of what you said, what Dave Deuce Mason said, and how it looks like maybe some of the Kings might not play tonight.
Yeah, they don't play again until Friday. Could be a night to do it. The second night of a back-to-back. Coach seems to do that when they're going through longer trips, maybe some needed time off, but I don't love it.
Give me some Zebo minutes.
Yeah.
That's all I need.
Dude, how crazy would that be?
It would be incredible. That would just be perfect. Just give Zebo 25 minutes.
Just like he's probably in street clothes at this point.
He's going to play in street clothes, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Can we give Roy Williams some love, by the way? His shoes were brought up a moment ago. Roy Williams.
Off-whites?
Yes. Yes.
Those are sick.
He had on the off-white ones last night with his baby blue pinstripe suit.
Really dynamite.
Go ahead and look those up on a secondary market.
Did you buy those?
He spent all his money on both pairs of equality shoes.
Were they the same price?
Almost more expensive.
Yes.
Okay. I wonder if I just bought a bunch of them, if I could sell the 2 white shoes and the 2 black shoes, but up the price for it. Where it wouldn't be $400, but it'd be like $300.
Oh.
Would I ever make my money back that way?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because it would be $600 as opposed to $400.
Yeah.
We're on to
Brilliant.
something. And we got the perfect person who can sell it for us right here. Cody.
You're
Cody
welcome.
can sell us. While you guys are making fun of Cody, she still looks way better than both of you. All right, well, that's
just a given.
Thank you.
Like that's
step your game up. Cody's the only person there who isn't wearing a sweater.
I wore my ref gear on Sunday.
I'm wearing a jacket, not a sweater. That's right.
But you both got the quarter zip up. That's
Yeah,
solid. I went with the
Exactly.
full
That's
zip.
very professional of us.
Cody went with the Ed Hockley look. If Ed Hockley and Cody Baylor were to fight, I'd have my money on Cody.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you, guys.
Got your back.
Set
All
this
right.
up.
Best and worst of the weekend as we roll along here. Remember, we've got your first opportunity to be a part of the Big Game Dream Party presented by Mel Rapton Honda. It's your chance to win a 65-inch television, $2,500 in Lazy Boy furniture, and a $500 gift card to Sprouts Farmers Markets 3 times per day that you can win. Your first chance is coming up 30 minutes from right now at 8:40. You're going to hear a keyword. When you hear that, you text it to 441140. You must be 21 or over to enter, and you'll have a chance also to win a $100 Harris Ranch gift certificate, all coming up today. As we get to best and worst of the weekend, do you remember these games, guys? You remember these games? Minnesota Miracle? Cody, I'm sure you remember that one.
Definitely remember that.
Being a Vikings fan, last year's 2017 divisional round where the Vikings won 29-24. Remember the Catch Part 3? That was the 2011 divisional round where the 49ers beat the Saints 36-32. And then the 1999 wild card game with the Music City Miracle. That, along with the Patriots and Chiefs yesterday, are the only 4 playoff games in NFL history to have 4 lead changes in the fourth quarter.
Wow. Okay.
This one does not have a clever nickname.
Not yet. I don't know what it will be.
I have no idea. I'm trying to think of one. I have no clue. There's no clever miracle to it, or no clever name
Kyle's
to it.
time to shine.
Yeah, it is
Over there
Kyle's time to
thinking.
shine.
It's right up your wheelhouse, buddy. I'm going to need you to be there for me. Come on, man. It's the Patriots' 11th Super Bowl. Do we have a clever nickname for? Oh, the Saints Rams game is always going to be the missed PI.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or the missed
how-
helmet to helmet, or the missed face guarding.
Right. All three seem to apply. I mean, it was so shocking that was. I mean, I couldn't believe it. Seeing it live, seeing 100 replays of it, it was missed.
I remember yelling, "Oh my God, they didn't throw a flag."
Yeah, I clapped right away because I mean I wanted the Saints to win, and
Yeah, I thought they
live I'm like, oh, that's easy. And then I saw Sean Payton on this like running, and yeah,
Which that
didn't
went
realize.
on.
Sometimes flags come in late. I'm like, whoa, where is it?
And I wonder how much of Sean Payton staying in the officials' ears. I don't want to read too much into it. Hindsight is always crystal clear. How much of Sean Payton running up and down the field, being in the official's ear, played a part into the rest of the game? Like, should he have just let it go and addressed it later? Like, every time they showed Sean Payton, his team sees that. His team, I wonder, and obviously this is a veteran team led by a veteran quarterback who's won a Super Bowl. They're now feeling like, dude, we were just robbed.
Right.
Like, we just lost our opportunity to go to the Super Bowl. Or maybe we did. Instead of, let's close this game out, they're thinking maybe we just lost our opportunity to go to the Super Bowl off of that play right there.
Well, but if you think about it, even the way it all played out, and what we ripped earlier in the show was the overtime rules. They got the ball. They could have ended it.
Yeah.
Now, Breeze got hit through the interception. We know how it ends. They still had their chances despite all of that, and it is going to go. He said it perfectly. They won't get over it. Coaches never do on the losses, and they've had two of the most difficult exits the last 2 years. And the Minnesota Miracle was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And then to have this happen to them, that's brutal.
4 of 11 was Drew Brees' completion percentage there in the fourth quarter. Lost in all this is the fact that Greg Zuerlein hit a 57-yard field goal to win the game. It wasn't a chip shot. It wasn't an extra
And he
point.
crushed it.
50. Yeah. It wasn't even in doubt.
That was still going up when it hit the net, man.
It
That was
hasn't hit the net yet.
unbelievable.
Like, he could have kicked that for, like, I think they were talking about.
The 63. It was
Yeah.
They were so nonchalant. Like, we just got to get to 63. I'm like, it's still a 63-yard.
Like, we're just nonchalantly talking about him kicking a 63-yard. Well, that was why they were doing it, because he has a hell of a leg.
Which the one, too, we forget, the 48-yarder to tie. Like, that one had extreme pressure. Not that there's not pressure on a 57-yarder. If he misses, the game's not over. He had to make the 48-yarder in regulation to send him to OT. That one was kind of hanging on the outside and curved back in. But he makes a 48-yarder for the tie, a 57-yarder for the win. That's amazing, and he's not getting enough attention.
Yeah, the fact that the game winner was better than the game tire was unbelievable to me.
Yeah.
Like, that was insane. It was a great kick.
We'll get
Love
into Overreaction Monday, which is actually Tuesday. Should we go over that again?
No.
No.
It was crystal clear.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Before we do that, let's go to the G-Man.
Accelerates into the lane, drops to Pauly-Stein, powers down a two-hand jam for the biggest lead of the first half for Sacramento on the feed from De'Aaron Fox. That's the combination that you want to see having success near the rim. Kings lead 53-47. We're going to make that your Petkus Brothers moment of the game.
Well, hey, thanks, G-Man. That was your Petkus Brothers moment of the game. Get the spectacular backyard you've always wanted with a beautiful Petkus Brothers patio or sunroom for the best prices, the best value, guaranteed every day. What's that? It's the Petkus Brothers.
That's solid. I think you should have a crown for a read like you do your.
I'm gonna go get the. You know what? That's the second time you're giving me the read crown. I'm gonna come get it.
Okay.
And I'm gonna wear it for an awesome read.
I like that.
Thank you.
Come on in and get it, and we'll
Thank you.
start
Okay.
our. We'll get to best and worst of the weekend as the morning rolls along here. Cody Baylor's here. Let's get into Overreaction Monday. Cody, what's up first?
All right. The first one, the officiating in conference title games will result in immediate rule changes.
Not an overreaction. I think we see rule changes. I think we see changes to the overtime rule, and I think we see changes to Okay. Go back to the control room. I apologize for those who are not watching on the live stream. I need you to go back to the control room now. I don't like being in the same room for you this long. Kyle, go back to the control room. No. Go to KHTK.com to follow this madness along. That's not an overreaction. I think we see changes to the overtime rule, and I think we see changes to referee reviews.
I'm with part of that. I think the overtime rule has to happen. I think it will happen. I think that's an easy fix. I don't think they're going to do anything about. Wait, what is the other part you said? Like with reviewing?
Reviewing. I think we're going to get to a point in critical moments in a game where the official in New York is going to buzz the field, and instead of saying, "Hey, we need to look at this," they're going to say, "Hey, we're looking at something. You missed this. It's really bad. It's a flag on the field." It's not for 60 minutes, but it's for the last 2 or for the last 5 or something along those lines. And those critical, you can't have plays like what happened in New Orleans decide the game. Whether it did or it didn't,
sure,
you can't have plays like that in the final moments of the game.
How is that different, though, than you're at the 1-yard line going for the win and the quarterback fumbles the snap? It's a mistake. It's a miscue. It shouldn't happen.
But those are player miscues.
Right.
You can't have officials a part of the game like that.
But remember, in this case, it wasn't called. So now what are you reviewing? Whether or not it's a penalty. Like sometimes so now if it is called, then you review that too. Like I think you have to review every pass in the final 2 minutes because, I mean, honestly, how many times 2 guys running down the field and there's and it's just grabbing. It's just got to review it. And I just think you open a dangerous element if you for pass interference calls. I don't think the league should do that at all. It was a terrible call, but I don't think they should do it.
I've talked to umpires and officials a lot, and especially umpires in baseball who have called perfect games. I go, is there more pressure as the game goes on? And they say no, because an out in the first inning is as important as an out in the 9th inning. And so when you talk about the final 2 minutes of a game, what happens if there's a blown call in the first quarter, a 4th and goal from the 1, and they throw a fade, there's a blatant PI that doesn't get called? That's just as important as that call late in the game.
I understand that, but like it's the same in basketball, right? Officials can only review. You see players all the time do the players and coaches do the little movement with it. Well, you can only do that within a certain time frame. If you want to do that for 60 minutes, I'm fine with it. Prepare for the pace of play maybe to change a little bit, but I'm worried about those moments in crunch time of a game, in the final moments of a championship setting. Maybe I don't even think you can only do it within the playoffs because these regular season mistakes can cost teams playoff opportunities. But I think there's going to be some sort of change. But by the way, I'm kind of glad you brought something up, and I'm going to need someone to help me on this. There was a play in one of the games, and it was a catch, and it went to review. And I think they had originally said maybe it was Julian Edelman. They originally said
Hogan.
Oh, it was Hogan.
Maybe, yeah.
Half the guy. Ball was on the ground.
Yeah.
Right.
But they overturned the call. So was it an incomplete pass? And they changed it to a complete pass?
And that happened right after the touching the ball, the thumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that was
they
the next
had
drive.
enough evidence to overturn that, but not enough.
Right. Like
they called it a catch on the field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what it was. Thank you.
They called it a catch. And
that's what it was. They called it a catch and stayed with it. That ball was halfway on the ground.
Yeah.
But they called the Julian Edelman muffed punt a muffed punt, but reversed it.
Yeah.
When clearly everyone, there's not enough evidence here either way, so you go with the ruling on the field. They changed it and gave the ball back to the Patriots.
That's the biggest thing to me. Almost as much as the PI, so much of replay is indisputable visual evidence.
Right.
There was not indisputable visual evidence to me to change that call. And they said they found it. I think what they were seeing was there's not evidence that he touched it, so we're going to say he didn't because we don't have evidence that he did. But it's
that's
to
not
overturn
how you ruled it. Right. That's not how you ruled it.
That is as bad to me as the missed call because that's review. You have review for this reason. You can't decide, all right, you go with what we saw on the field.
Yeah, I think, too, if we start doing, like this is focused on the Saints game and a pass interference. So then the hands to the face or the chop block or a hold. Like where do we stop? Like the hold is just as critical in an outcome of a game. If a lineman is holding to keep a running play alive and he scores, well, we're not reviewing that, but I'm going to review that pass interference. I just think that's opening up too
why
much.
can't you review the hands? That hands to the face was a 15-yard penalty.
Right.
Wasn't that on a third down, too?
Right. It was on a third down, which, don't get me wrong, the Chiefs did their part in allowing the Patriots to get third and long through that whole fourth quarter and overtime. But that was they didn't touch him.
Yeah.
Like, they did not touch his face at all.
But in theory of all of this and outcomes of the game, the D Ford play where he's lining up, that should be reviewed. Right?
Okay. That's fine. I mean, they're going to see that he was offside, but that was fine.
Okay, but then I just think it just gets – I found myself actually bothered by the games and not the length of it, but another review, it was really getting tiresome. And
I'd
now
rather
I think
have the outcome be right than in these moments. I'd rather have the outcome be right.
But don't you think we'll still have? Wow, they reviewed that and still didn't call it. I don't think we're going to get perfection.
We had that. Like, we had that in the the one Cody and Kyle were just talking about with Julian Edelman and Chris Hogan. We had that. We had that very situation. Cody, what's next?
There's a quarterback controversy in Philadelphia.
Jason?
I think that's an overreaction based on, well, one, I don't think it'll be Foles. So I think it's Wentz. So I don't think there's a controversy. And I know the story came out about him being a bad teammate or not the leader that people think he is, just a bunch of stuff. Well, now today or even yesterday, a bunch of his teammates went to social media calling it fake news. I don't know what locker room you're talking about. That's not us. I expect teammates to back up a guy, but they went out of their way to do it. So feels like there's nothing there to me.
The Philly Voice report, which was published yesterday, cited more than half a dozen anonymous Eagles players and other sources close to the team, saying that Carson Wentz is selfish, uncompromising, and egotistical. Players, Zach Ertz, Fletcher Cox, Lane Johnson, all came out with their names on it in defense of Carson Wentz, saying this is trash. Nick Foles and Carson Wentz are both universally loved, as the report also cited only Nick Foles is loved by the locker room. But anonymous sources are really important to news. This feels like anonymous sources is gossip. Mm-hmm. And I hate anonymous sources within sports. It's one thing if you're protecting national security. It's another thing to be a coward.
Right.
This is cowardly. This is an overreaction. There's no quarterback controversy in Philadelphia. Cody?
All right. After Alex Smith's appearance at the Wizard game yesterday, it's clear Washington will be in the mix for a quarterback this offseason.
I'm going to hold off on that one for just a second. We'll give you our thoughts on Alex Smith's return to the public eye yesterday and your first opportunity to qualify for the Big Game Dream Party presented by Mel Rapton Honda is coming up next.
Hey, it's Kyle Madsen with your top stories on Sports 1140. The Sacramento Kings lost to the Brooklyn Nets yesterday, 123-94, but they are right back in action tonight in Toronto. Our coverage on Sports 1140 begins with game night at 2:30. Kings Live is at 3:30, and then tip-off with the G-Man is set for 4 o'clock. Multiple outlets are reporting that the Rockets have agreed to trade Carmelo Anthony to the Chicago Bulls. A deal is expected to be finalized later today. And speaking of the Rockets, they were blown out by the 76ers yesterday, 121-93. James Harden scored 37 points to extend his streak of scoring 30-plus to 20 games. And in the Martin Luther King Day finale, Klay Thompson tied an NBA record by hitting his first 10 three-pointers. He had 44 points in just 27 minutes as the Warriors cruised to a 130-111 win over the Lakers. It is 8:29. Time to get your tickets for the 7th annual Sacramento Sports Hall of Fame induction celebration, Saturday, January 26th at the Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Go to SacSportsHof.com. Those are your top stories, and now it's back to the drive on Sports 1140 KHTK.
It's time for the Coors Light Cold Hard Fact of the Day. Here's Kyle Madsen.
So today's cold hard fact is related to the Kansas City Chiefs. They lost to the Patriots 37-31 in overtime. They became the second team ever in the playoffs to score 31 points with no turnovers and lose. The only other team to do it, teams are 64-2, the only other team to do it also lost 37-31 in overtime. Pretty unreal.
And who was that other team?
I believe it was the Cleveland Browns.
Oh, of course it was.
Cleveland Browns were in a playoff game?
Yeah, I think so. Let me pull it up. I closed a bunch of tabs and accidentally closed my tab with that exact info on it. Let me get that and I'll have it for you.
Well, we'll tell you this. Coming up in about 10 minutes, we'll have your first keyword of the day to qualify for the Big Game Dream Party presented by Mel Rapton Honda. Your chance to win a 65-inch television, $2,500 in Lazy Boy furniture, and a $500 gift card to Sprouts Farmers Market. Not to mention, some members of the KHTK staff are going to bring you some food the day of the big game.
Hey.
How about that? Hey, now. Also, it's time to kick off Folsom Beer Week at Tap into Folsom. Tap into a cold one at the Palladio this Saturday. Tickets at tapfolsom.com. Cody, you gave us an overreaction on Alex Smith. Can you give us that one more time?
All right, after Alex Smith's appearance at the Wizards game yesterday, it's clear Washington will be in the mix for a new quarterback next season.
There's something, I mean, that's a serious injury. And just reading reports on what's going on there, yeah, I mean, not an overreact. They need to look and see if he's going to play again.
Yeah.
I mean, there were some scary elements of the infection, of how long he was in the hospital, of would he keep his leg?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's awful.
And none of that is an overreaction. That is all, everything you just said is very accurate. The details of his recovery have been as gruesome as the actual injury was. And, yeah, they're going to suffer a massive cap hit. But I really don't care.
Yeah.
Pay Alex Smith. Figure out your quarterback situation. The best way to do it because of that cap hit is going to be through the draft. Whether that's in the first round, I'm not really sure. Whether it's in later rounds, who knows? But yes, Washington now is very much in the conversation for a quarterback. And a lot of it is there's a visual aspect to this. That brace, that was a gnarly brace that Alex Smith had on. His leg is still very much wrapped. It's still very much being stabilized by pipes and tubes and screws. And I heard he just bent his knee for the first time since surgery last week. I'm just glad Alex Smith got his deal last year. I'm glad he didn't lose a leg. I'm glad it didn't become anything as extreme as what it sounded like. Cody?
All right, Tony Romo is the greatest announcer ever.
Not an overreaction. Simple as that, Cody. Simple as that, guys.
He was amazing.
Greatest ever. Ever.
New person that I just dislike off top by hearing them have this take is actually Tony Romo's not that good. He just knows football, and these are good teams executing how they should, so he just knows what's going to happen. Everybody knows.
He should be the Chiefs' defensive coordinator.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, he should have been down there on the Chiefs sideline telling them what the Patriots were going to do every play.
Teams are going to start having on their tablets, they're going to start having the stream up so they're listening.
Yeah, right.
I want to say, too, because
probably illegal, but
definitely illegal.
He was so good.
Yeah.
It was so amazing, so entertaining. Like, what I want is to learn something. Watch football all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Taught me so much stuff in a short amount of time, and then it was just what to look for. So then when you could see it, and then it happens, whether he's calling a shot, but then I also want to go back to when it started, because remember, we focused on that first game. It was Titans and Raiders. First game he ever called. A lot of eyes and ears on Tony Romo, and we all kind of went, wow, he knows, he's calling the plays. That could have gone one of two ways. The executives, people supported that because at first it was different, and different isn't always accepted, but he was really good at it. And then CBS obviously said, no, keep going this way. This is good. And it just gave us gold. I mean, it was really amazing, the stuff he was talking about with Edelman and Gronk. We could all see it. Why couldn't the Chiefs? Why didn't the Patriots run it all the plays? They only ran it on all those third downs, and it worked every time. He's like, if they play Gronk here, they're throwing to Edelman. Play Edelman here, they're going to Gronk. And he was right every time.
What I love is the pre-snap stuff because it gives you so much more to watch. When he's describing what's happening pre-snap, you're not just waiting for the play to happen. He's saying, this guy, like you said, Edelman's motioning.
Brady's killing it. Yeah.
Right. Edelman's motioning right. That usually means a run to that side, and then it happens. And you start watching every game a little differently and trying to pick out and see if you can learn little bits from Tony Romo. So I think it's awesome.
Then it makes me think, too, that there's a skill in being a former quarterback. He looks at things a little bit differently, but he's not the only quarterback analyst. Why is he so much more gifted at it than other guys that played the position?
Maybe
could it be the time from which he left football to the time in which he became an announcer? Could that play a role in it?
I mean, maybe, but I feel
I'm just asking.
I'm
not saying that is. I'm just asking.
I wouldn't. Why wouldn't Aikman, Steve? Well,
Brady
Aikman.
Quinn.
Yeah.
Steve Young's problem was Steve Young was too smart, and he like.
You have to be able to say
no,
it. No,
seriously,
way.
yeah. Steve Young got significantly better as his broadcasting career continued because when he first started, he was talking over everyone's head other than the people he was in the room with. Like he was talking football with the football people in the room. Meanwhile, the viewers were like,
What?
Yeah.
Tony Romo just has a good way of explaining it.
Yes.
And a great line that I heard yesterday. You can hear Tony Romo smile.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
he loves football. Like
Well, in
he
the
loves
open,
talking about
he
this.
was so giddy that it's like, this is it.
It's the latest
Mahomes and Brady. It's the AFC. Like he was so excited. So he gives the excitement, the knowledge. You learn something, and then
It's
you
the latest
see.
he's ever been in the playoffs.
Wow. And then you see.
I hate myself
or
for making that joke.
Jason Witten, guy who
It's
played the
Rude.
sport. Same guy, same sport, and it's like just can't relay it the same way.
But Jason's gonna
Charisma,
say
man.
something funny though. That's
Yeah.
the good. That's a good
Gonna-
part about
you want
Jason.
to kick yourself in the head.
Yeah.
Like he's probably or he does
Yourself
kick himself in the foot.
That's
That's what it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Just kick himself
Can't
in the
even
foot.
get it wrong.
Let me jump in here, Cody. The highest paid NFL analyst in history was John Madden. He reportedly earned $8 million in 1993. If we set the over/under at $9.5 million for Tony Romo when his contract expires next year, what are we going? Over or under?
Over.
$9.5 million.
Yeah, it all goes up, so over.
Yeah,
I thought Gruden made about. I know Gruden was at 1.6.5. I thought he had gotten to 8, but obviously not. If the answer is John Madden, and he also said, he being Tony Romo, pronouns. He also said he had got offers this year to be a quarterback in the NFL.
Jeez.
Okay.
Do you think that Steve Young as a color analyst would be better now? Because I feel like fans are typically more educated football wise, and we
No.
have so much more data and
I don't think
information.
so.
Or
He just didn't bring it down enough. Like it was just way over. Like he was talking straight out of his playbook. Romo doesn't talk out of the playbook.
Right.
Romo talks like as you would see on film.
Sure.
Like, look at this guy running here. He's going to motion this. This is what it means when he does this.
right,
He's
Young
these
is
plays-
calling out plays.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
that makes sense.
Cody.
Next one.
Yeah.
Paul George should be near the top of the MVP list.
Yeah, not an overreaction. Absolutely should be. He's having a great year. They're in third seed. Stats are some of his best numbers. He's fully recovered from his horrific injury. Absolutely, he should be. That's not an overreaction.
One of my best of the weekend.
George is guarded by Butler. Ferguson giving the ball. Here we go. Thunder down 2 with 6.9 left. Ferguson gets it to George. Leans in. Angle left 3 is up. Cha-ching! Thunder money ball! And Butler fouls him! Oh, baby! George reigns and drains it. Thunder by 116-115. George has a 4-point chance with 5.1 to play.
The Oklahoma City Radio Network, that came after a horrific turnover by Russell Westbrook that put the Thunder in a deficit right now. Paul George saves the day, one of the best, along with Kawhi Leonard. For my money right now, it's Giannis, it's Kawhi, and it's Paul George as the top 3 in the MVP conversation.
Not James Harden.
No, he can be 4th.
Fascinating.
He can be 4th. I don't care about a stupid little scoring streak.
Oh,
I don't care.
stupid little scoring streak.
Yeah,
don't.
Interesting.
There's a lot of points
Interesting. She did care about a triple-double streak.
That
Just
went on for an
arbitrary stat.
entire season. We
okay.
can revisit
No.
this in Game 82 if you'd like. In
Okay.
my opinion, will very much be different
Okay.
if we're having
Set
the
a
same
reminder,
conversation in Game
Okay.
82.
Oh, I'm setting a reminder.
And here's another reminder. Your opportunity to get... I hate you. Thank you. Your opportunity to qualify for the Big Game Dream Party presented by Mel Rapton Honda is coming in just a couple of minutes. We've got the key word for you in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. Cody, what's next?
The resurgence of Derrick Rose is real, and we should all embrace it.
Hell yes.
Rose looking to go one-on-one. Pulls up. 19-footer on the way. Hits with 0.6 of a second left. Derrick Rose continues his incredible second half. He's up to 29. He's got 31 for the game, and he puts the Wolves in front by 2 with 0.6 of a second left.
That was the game winner for the Minnesota Timberwolves right there. Derrick Rose, I can't explain it. I don't know why. It is real. I don't know if it's leading, top of the vote getters in the All-Star ballot, but it's really impressive.
Yeah.
And I feel I have to preface this with Derrick Rose. It's really difficult. We're talking about on the basketball floor.
Yes.
I'm not talking about Derrick Rose as a person. What he's doing on the basketball floor it's really incredible.
Yeah, he had the 50-point game earlier this year. He had that, but I don't want to see him in the All-Star game.
Really?
No.
We've waited years for this.
Yeah.
This is the Derrick Rose we have waited years for. But injury after mental lapse after mental lapse after off-the-court issue after off-the-court issue have all derailed this. This is what we've been waiting for. Don't let the Derrick Rose stands steer you away from the fact that Derrick Rose is having a hell of a season.
Sure. Hopefully,
he's not the best color man in the business for no reason, folks.
Tony Romo
hopefully
right
in
there.
this process he learns what consent means.
Thanks, Jason Witten. Okay, see, now you went to off the court. That was unnecessary.
I had
centralized it to on the court.
I can't.
Okay.
I don't like him.
That's I can't do it in certain
Nameless, faceless basketball player. Sure.
Fine. Okay.
That'd
Cody,
be weird.
Fine.
Last one. Klay Thompson is a better scorer than James Harden.
Huh, where'd that come from?
Cody?
Oh.
Yeah,
Cody Baylor?
That is not.
This one was not on my list before I came in here this morning.
Oh,
What do you mean?
I think it was
Whose
added.
handwriting is that?
It just magically appeared?
Well, it's not an overreaction. So.
What do you mean the handwriting on the script? What are you talking about?
Would you like to answer that one?
That's not an overreaction. Klay Thompson is a better scorer than James Harden.
Score?
Klay
Yes.
Thompson's a better shooter than James Harden.
Yes.
What's the
Shooter.
read it again?
Klay Thompson
Cody?
can't
Better
touch
scorer.
James Harden.
He is not.
His mama named him Clay?
Yeah.
I'm going to call him Clay.
Okay.
Klay Thompson.
Is a better scorer.
You want me to say it again? I
Yes.
said what I said. Klay Thompson is a better scorer
You
than
can't even
James
keep a
Harden.
straight face.
He's getting red.
Yeah.
Klay Thompson is maybe my favorite player on the Warriors. He's not. James Harden's incredible.
That is not an overreaction. Cody's right, because I think that was her
Nah,
writing.
that wasn't me, guys.
That's Cody's writing.
I need a full timeout.
All
Is this
right.
writing gate?
I got you. You need timeout?
Yes.
All right. Cody's got other duty. You can catch the lowdown live at Foot Locker today, immediately following today's program. The Big Game Dream Party presented by Mel Rapt and Honda. Your chance to win a 65-inch television, $2,500 in Lazy Boy furniture, and a $500 gift card to Sprouts Farmers Market. You hear keywords 3 times a day: 840, 140, and 340. What's going on at 340 today?
It's going to be a
Did you
tad
just
bit
go
earlier.
too legit to quit? What
No,
were you doing?
I was spelling the code word for everybody
Oh,
in sign language with
Okay.
both hands. The home sign and the road sign.
nice. Solid work, Jason.
Yes.
840, 140, and 340. We'll add an ish
Yeah, about
to the end of that.
325-ish today.
Okay, so not quite 340 at
Close,
all.
yeah.
We've been interrupted
But the rest
a
of the
little
week,
bit.
it'll all be normal.
Yeah, we've been interrupted a little bit because of Kings games. There's things that we have to do there. Sorry about that. 140 is going to be a little dicey, too. You're just going to have to remember this. Set your alarm, because at 140, Jason and I are obviously here, so we won't be there, which we understand is also a calculated a mistake on our part, so we'll fix that next time. 840, we've been given permission to repeat the word for you. Jason, that keyword for 840 is?
Cover.
COVER. Text that right now to 441140, and we'll get you entered into the Big Game Dream Party presented by Mel Rapt and Honda. Also, your chance to win a $100 Harris Ranch certificate. Is Jim Rome here?
Yeah,
is
he's getting an early
Rome
start.
starting early? My goodness, man.
That's my bad. That's my bad. I'm going to wear that one.
It's
That's on
fine.
me.
It's Monday, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Even though it's Tuesday.
Do you want to go over
But
this
it's
again?
still Monday. No,
All
I
right.
got it.
Time to get your
I
tickets
know.
for Folsom's only Winter Brewfest, January 26th. Details at tapfolsom.com. Thanks for everybody who logged on to khtk.com and watched us today. Judging by the text line, it was quite a few of you. Also, judging by the text line, no one logged in to see us.
No.
But that's fine. Understandable.
A lot of people talking about my green jacket, huh?
No, not quite.
Some.
But the official that just left the room got a lot of attention on social media as
was-
well.
That was Beetlejuice, straight up. Dude.
I mean, better looking, less scary Beetlejuice, But I mean, strongly resembled Michael Keaton in the late 80s for sure.
Yes.
Was that peak Michael Keaton? Was there ever a peak Michael Keaton?
I think peak Michael Keaton was in The Other Guys. He was tremendous in that film. He
Don't
made
go
that
chasing
whole movie.
waterfalls.
The TLC references.
This is good stuff there.
Hey, if you guys are going to do this, you got to creep.
Yeah.
Creep.
Come on, Chief.
Come on, no one says creep unless they're referencing TLC.
I don't know what you're talking about, man.
But what was peak Michael Keaton? Batman?
Mr. Mom?
Batman. I think
Mr.
it was-
Mom.
Oh, that's a good one.
Mr. Mom. Yeah. Okay.
Birdman. Was he in Birdman?
Birdman, yeah.
Well, that's the one that got him the most attention, but would you... Gosh, is that early 2000s reference right there? What happened to that boy? You know that song, don't you?
Of course.
He said, of course. Like, yeah, of course I listen to Birdman.
We're discussing peak Michael Keaton here. You know what? Can I just
We went from Michael Keaton to Birdman the rapper in 4 seconds. That's a
solid
record.
Work. That's solid work right there. I think this is a good day's work for us. This show is so I hate being done at 9.
Mm-hmm.
It really bothers me because I don't know what to do. Like, I know I have things to do. I don't like it. I don't like that we're done in a few minutes.
Yeah, you wanted to do a show in the hallway the other day.
I wanted to come back at noon. I wouldn't leave on Friday just because I didn't have anything to do.
I hung around for a long time on Friday, and you were still just sitting there just...
I didn't know what to do.
Like a bored teenager on your phone.
I told Jason this morning before the show started, I was like, Now, there are reasons that we can't just walk in and go, you know what, we're coming on the air at 12. There's a lot that goes into our show not being on the air. I want to do our show at 12, mostly because I don't have anything else to do. And I'm already warmed up, so why not just come back? Now, you have 47 other things that you have to do each day. I don't. I could just walk in at 12 and do another radio show.
That's a great point.
But completely just total miscalculation on my part. So sorry. But I hate this. Like, I really do.
You pulled your best Dave impression the other day when I was like, well, you're bored. Do you want to go? And you're, nope. No, I don't.
You asked me to go get a burrito.
Yeah.
I don't want to go get a burrito.
Yeah, a nice burrito bowl.
You didn't ask
really
me.
good. Yeah, you were out of the room. I would have asked you.
Dang it. One more best
Love
of the
a burrito.
weekend for me here.
He'll put the ball in play on the far side of the floor. It's going to be a bang-bang sequence, no doubt about it. Front court to our right. Bogey on the far side of the floor, looking now as he's handed the ball. Ball fake to the right, throws to the left. The ball is deflected, grabbed by Heel for the win. Buddy Buckets delivers. He hits the three-pointer as time expired. He races across the floor, chased by all of his teammates, circles from one end to the other, jumping, bumping, high-fiving, and headed now toward the locker room on a dead sprint. For the second time in recent weeks, the Kings have won one at the buzzer. It will be reviewed.
The G-Man, Gary Gerald, for those, spoiler alert, the review upheld, and the Sacramento Kings won that game. Let's just pretend that was the last game that they played.
Feels better, doesn't it? Even the league reviewed the last 2 minutes because there was some talk. Did Buddy double dribble? They said no. I mean, it wouldn't have mattered if they said he did. It just would have been a call that they got wrong.
Great reaction also from in here, the KHTK studios with you, Dave Mason, and Morgan Reagan. That was solid work from you guys there. Do you have any best and worst of the weekends you want to get in before we get out of here?
Well, we kind of hit on a lot of them. The couple that I wrote down were Romo. I mean, Romo was incredible. It was really, I like to learn something and just be educated on the game that you feel like you know, and I think he did a great job. He had a great fourth quarter and overtime. And then we brought it up, but Greg the Leg Zuerlein, a 48-yarder for the tie, a 57-yarder for the win in a game that's going to be talked about for a call that was missed. Yeah. Can we celebrate? I mean, kickers get crushed for missing kicks. Those were two very difficult kicks. I know there weren't elements, but that was amazing. That's as good as it gets for a kicker at that position to hit a tying field goal and then a 57-yarder for the win, a no-doubter. That was great.
Kyle, you got any best and worst you want to throw in here?
One of my worst of the weekend was Todd Gurley. I know we didn't really get into it during the show, but, dude, he got benched in an NFC championship game. Sean McVay said that Gurley only got, I think it was 10 carries for like 28 yards, and he said it was because of game flow.
Yeah,
it's like, dude, he's the highest paid running back in the league. He should be on the field all the time no matter what.
This is something we're going to have to talk a lot about more. I don't know how much more traction there is in these conference championship games. It's time to start looking forward to the Super Bowl here.
Right.
I feel like there's a conversation to be had on Todd Gurley and his recent play. And perhaps that's something that we can get to tomorrow. But you're right. It's C.J. Anderson may be the reason that the Los Angeles Rams are in the position that they're in, playing in the last game of the season against the New England Patriots.
Yeah, and I know Gurley was great against the Cowboys, but the 2 games prior to that, he missed the last 2 games of the regular season. His 2 games before those were not good. He hasn't been effective as a receiver at all in the playoffs.
They may have rushed him back not knowing that C.J. Anderson would be able to do, and understandably so. Understandably so.
He's an MVP candidate.
No one knew that C.J. Anderson was going to play the way that they did. I mean, John Gruden certainly didn't know because, remember, he was an Oakland Raider for 3.5 minutes?
Yeah.
4?
Yeah, something like that.
But ran
maybe
for 4
even
yards.
Yeah. In practice.
Yeah.
We don't even know that C.J. Anderson actually practiced for the Oakland Raiders. But he's having a hell of a run here for the Los Angeles Rams. We have a Facebook question over on the Lowdown Facebook page if you want to continue to interact with us throughout the day. As I just noted, I don't have anything else to do. So if you could interact with us on Facebook, that would be greatly appreciated. We asked you, was it a good or a bad weekend for the NFL? Happy anniversary to Kobe Bean Bryant, who on this day in 2006 scored 81 points in a game against the Toronto Raptors. I believe 79 of those were on Jalen Rose.
On just 6 shots.
6 shots. That is accurate.
Is it? Yeah.
He went to the free throw line 70 times.
And James Harden laughs.
Anybody going to score 81 again?
Harden's going to this year.
Get out.
Well,
you can leave
Klay
early.
Thompson
According
will.
to you, Klay Thompson will.
I think Klay Thompson will because Klay Thompson is a better scorer than James Harden is. Thank you so much for being with us. Thank you to the Fire Wings Hotline. Try one of their delicious 21 flavors of wings today. Fire Wings, just wing it. We will see you tomorrow at 6 a.m.
The Jim Rome Show.
Keep telling me how James Harden.